Hey everyone, Sponge here. We know it's impossible to cover much in this short clip, so I'm going to make a mini-series, perhaps of about 7 or 10 videos to talk about oral English practicing in general. Its hows, whys, and materials you should use and where to find them. Please be aware this is not a course, but more of a guideline that shows you how oral English practice works in general. Also, TNI institutes don't train students heavily in language proficiencies anymore because we're supposed to do it ourselves. So these are the methods I used back in my college days, and they worked for me. I also throw in TNI practices a little bit, so hopefully they are helpful to you as well. Now, let's start writing. In this first episode and preview, we're going to discuss when we're practicing oral English, what in fact are we practicing? Essentially, we're practicing accent and content. In plain English, we practice to make ourselves sound like a native speaker and to make sure what we say is real word English instead of Chinglish. So let's see some cases of foreigners speaking Chinese first.
我上学的时候，我们班跟别的班踢球，然后我就到晚了，然后问我同学啊，现在几比几了？
可是你知道吗？在国际关系中最重要是什么？软实力。什么？
软实力
，soft power。
2008年到今年，为什么你不一样的，对不对？
Now you get the idea. Let's break the accent and content down and look at the hows. First, accent. This is easier to practice compared with content. According to Anne Cook, the writer of the classic American accent training, an accent is a combination of 3 main components: intonation, speech music, liaisons, word connection, and pronunciation, the spoken sounds of vowels, consonants, and combinations. Again, in plain English, pronunciation is how you sound when you speak a single word. Liaisons is how you sound when speaking a chunk of words. Intonation is how you sound when you're actually speaking in English. So pronunciation, or the spoken sounds of vowels, consonants, and combinations, is a basic where you should start from. And luckily, it's also the easiest to learn. All you need is a good book on phonetic alphabets. I will recommend this one by Mr. Lai for American accent for 3 reasons. First, it's light, not as intimidating as a dictionary. You could spend 2 weeks on it, but benefit from it for life. And second, Mr. Lai speaks Chinese and knows what kinds of mistakes Chinese English learners would make and how to correct them. And third, its audio and usage are available for free on Himalayan, which is super convenient. And one question I got frequently asked is, should I acquire American or British accents if I want to be an interpreter? The answer is no. As long as your pronunciation is right and clear. For example, if you want to say this, Wakanda forever! But the audience heard this, Wakanda forever! You probably should work harder on pronunciation. Another bad example is Trump. His Trump English is
heart, lung, and liver transplants. You're going to see some statistics coming out.
Another stock rocket. You saw that, right? The stock market, the shield and shelter, criminal. Look. In April of 2014,
Working to improve this country and your terrific government. And God bless the United States. Thank you very much.
Now you get the idea of right and clear pronunciation. If you listen to the best interpreters, say at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or the UN, their accents are not strictly American or British, more like in the middle. If you want to be an interpreter, listening to speeches of a variety of accents like the Indian accent is way more important. And for liaison, I will make a video about 3 fundamental rules on it. And for intonation, this book is recommended, The American Accent Training by Anne Cook that we just mentioned. By the way, I don't think you need another book on accent in addition to those 2. Just keep practicing and refer to those books if and when you have difficulty. I haven't used any books for the British accent, so I won't recommend or vouch for any, but feel free to check Zhihu or Douban for recommendations. English and English education has been there for a long time. You won't go wrong with a book that's highly rated or recommended by a lot of people. The harder part is to study it from cover to cover to learn pronunciation systematically rather than buying tons of books on the same topic but never finishing any of them. You will never see the whole picture if you're studying this way. The same principle can be applied to other systematic errors as well, like grammar. If you have bad grammar, get a grammar book and study it through. This may look time-consuming, but it's in fact the fastest and the best way. Now comes the second part, content, or how to speak real-world English. As it turns out, content or language enhancement is about lifelong learning. And to this end, we have to learn three things. First, what real-world English actually is and where to find and select materials. For example, materials from the college English tests are better options. Second, how to learn these materials. How do I practice? Do I have to record myself? Third, how to research, how to express yourselves correctly even when you haven't learned or imitated before. And the answers to each of them will be equipped with one or multiple videos. In the sneak peek, we're going to talk about what materials are real-world English, and great learning resources like the Speech Repository, the EU, and almost every TNI institute in the world use. An excellent training method that enhances both your listening and speaking skills called shadowing, general principles to follow when practicing listening and reading, both extensive and intensive, and how to use tools like search engines and corpuses to research and more. So this is the preview and the first episode of the upcoming mini-series. All websites or books mentioned in this video and future videos will be listed in the description. So thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, email me or leave it in the comment. I will see you next video. Hi there, if you find this video helpful and want to see more of these, please subscribe and do the you know what. If you don't, subscribe anyway, it's free, who cares.